get started with Aussie Week Part 3. That's right, we're finishing up the week on a cuter side, and I think a very interesting side, I'm going to be honest. As some of you probably have already figured out by the cover picture and the promos, we're talking that Australian cutie, that flying squirrel, that marsupial of madness. We're talking about, that's right, the sugar glider. Yes, we're going to talk sugar glider today. I've had a lot of questions about sugar gliders ever since I was on the animals blog, and one of them interrupted while we were filming. People have heard of my sugar gliders and they want to hear about sugar gliders. So we're going to give you some really, hopefully, good footage. And here's the thing about sugar gliders. I'm just going to put this out there beforehand. I don't know what they're going to do. And they're really jumpy, they're really flyy, they're sometimes bitey, and they're very unpredictable. So, first thing that I pretty much can guarantee you that you would like to see and hear is the funniest, craziest noise I think you'll ever hear, at least this week, if not your entire life. We're going to wake up the sugar gliders. Sugar gliders are nocturnal, which means they come out at night. So during the day, they're normally, that's right, sleeping, which is what they're doing. And when I wake them up, they let me know that they're around by being very, very audible, very loud. You ready? Let's come over and let's wake up the sugar gliders. Now, the sugar gliders are sleeping inside their sugar glider hat, their little tent of joy, if you will, and they're right in there. Now, let's see if we can get them to make some wake-up noise. You ready? Wake up. Isn't that wild? It just sounds like the craziest thing. And now you're wondering what kind of creature makes that noise. Well, let's look in here and let's see if we can find the sugar gliders. Oh, now you hear there's two of them. One of them woke up the other one that woke up the other one. I know, guys. I got to get you out of your blanket. Yeah, also known as a handkerchief. And there's our first view of one of the sugar gliders. Whoa, come back over here, guys. Where are you going? They're like, hey, we want to come out and say hi. Yeah, there's the sugar glider. All right, let me. Oh, see, sometimes I get a little attitude from them. Oh, there's one jumping around the back over there. I don't know if you can see her. That's the female. We actually have both a male and a female. Boy, that's hiding in there, isn't it? Yeah. All right, well, let's go ahead and get the nicer one out. That would be the male. Let me grab this guy out of here. And by nicer, I mean he only bit me once instead of 4 times. Come here, buddy. Come here. Okay. Here. Ow. Yeah. Oh, he's a flying squirrel thing, too. Did I mention that before? Okay, come here. Yeah. Okay. There's a sugar glider. Yeah. So sugar gliders are actually a marsupial, and they jump. They're marsupials. Marsupials, we'll talk about in a bit. Marsupials, most people think of like opossums and kangaroos and stuff, but these guys are marsupials. That just means that when they have babies, they give birth inside a little pouch, and then they live in there. These guys, their gestation period inside the actual mom is about 17 days, but then they stay in the pouch for about 2 or 3 weeks as they grow, and they actually nurse inside that pouch. Well, the sugar glider is actually in a family called, oh, jump back over, there we go. I want a good view of you there. The flying phalangers. Yeah, isn't that crazy? This group of creatures are known as the flying phalangers. And phalange are your fingers, right? So flying phalangers, these guys fly, but they have skin in between. Let's see if we can watch that one down there. Oh, here, we might have. There we go. I think we got a good view of it right now, and that's working out very, very well. So if you look at the leg, it looks like there's some little loose skin. And yeah, I know, I got thirsty just doing that too. Yeah. Hey, look, he's getting a drink. That's great. By the way, it has to have a water bottle in captivity because if it was to have a dish of water, they would drown. Yeah, they're not the brightest, I guess. But you have to realize out in the wild, half of their water intake is from rainfall. They don't live around lakes and streams and stuff. They live up in the trees. They're what we call arboreal. And arboreal means that they live in the arbor, in the trees. And so they live in rainforests of like eucalyptus and sometimes in some of the forested areas of acacias. And they run around up in the trees. So a body of water they're not really familiar with. So they have to lick up the water that falls from the sky. And about half their daily water intake is from that. The other half they get from the food that they eat, which is the amazing thing about these flying phalangers. I just love saying that, mostly because this one's mine. So it's Phil's flying phalanger. And I think he's kind of funny and fluffy. So he's actually Phil's funny, fluffy flying phalanger. Let's be honest, that's fun to say. Yeah, except for when he's really, really eating too much and he's full, then he's Phil's full flying, furry, fluffy flying phalanger. Yeah, I messed myself up on that. By the way, they're called wrist-winged gliders because that's what the flying phalangers mean, because they have skin between their wrists. And that skin that goes between there is called a patagium, and those skin flaps are what make them able to glide. Now, there's actually 6 species of gliders. The next to smallest is the sugar glider. Most of them are about the size of that sugar glider that you're looking at here, but there is one that's known as the fluffy glider or the yellow-bellied glider that's about the size of a cat. I want you to think about that, a flying cat. That just isn't right. Yeah, but these guys, they're omnivores. They live in the trees. They will eat tree sap, nectar. They'll eat insects. They'll eat gum, not chewing gum like we chew, but like sap gum, gum that comes from the trees. And they like to eat honeydew. Now, I don't know if anybody knows what honeydew is. I'm not talking honeydew melon. That's completely different. Honeydew is actually a byproduct of aphids and a few other insects. Basically, an aphid has what's called a proboscis. It's a little mouthpiece that sticks into a tree. And then when it does that, the pressure of that pushes into the aphid and it poops out a little sticky substance. It's like honey. And that's one of the favorite foods of the sugar glider. Now, these guys are a load of fun here. And I'm going to see if we can get one of them to go into the wheel and kind of show off how funny they are. Because once they get into the wheel and start running, which I know now they're awake. See, normally they do all this at night. But if we can get one to, let me see if I can, hey, go over and jump up into the, oh, no, I didn't mean to scare you. Sorry. Yeah, sorry about that. Hey, why don't you go over? So that's the female right there. And get a nice close look at how cute she is. And I know you're thinking, how do you know the difference between the male and the female? Well, if you were to look very closely at the male, look at his head. See his head? He's got a little bald spot right there on the top of his head, showing it off. That's pretty much true of all sugar gliders. The males have a bald spot on the top. Now, if I was to catch them and look at the bottom, obviously the female is going to have the pouch, right? Now, it's not a horizontal standing up kind of pouch like on a kangaroo, right? This one actually goes the other direction. So the pouch slit goes not all the way from the neck to the tail, but that direction. And they'll have 1 or 2 babies inside there. And of course, then as they grow, they get too big, they'll actually come out, but they still go back to nurse for a while. So sometimes you'll have a cute little sugar glider with a little baby hanging on to the outside, but its head is stuffed inside the pouch, getting a little lunch until they get old enough to where they're weaned and they start drinking their own nectar and all that. By the way, in captivity, we're not able to feed them the nectar and stuff that they need. So we have a whole mixture of food that we make for them. It has all kinds of stuff from certain baby foods in it to hard-boiled eggs pureed into it to honey to all kinds of different things that the sugar gliders need. So it's not the easiest pet to take care of. You can't just go down to the local grocery store and grab a bag of dog food, for the sugar gliders. I want to see the male. He's a lot of fun if he gets in the wheel. Maybe I can... And there we go. Maybe coax her into there. Once they, it's like, nope. But you see how well they just jump around. Oh, he went and hid inside his little coconut shell. Huh. She's down there still just looking at us, looking as cute as possible. All right, I'm going to see now, out there up jumping around. See, there we go. There's both of them. He's poking out from there. She's hanging on there. Works out pretty good. By the way, as cute as these guys are, I mentioned the biting. I actually got a little bit of blood on my thumb from them. They can bite, but think about it. Something's attacking them. Yeah, they're gonna bite. And of course, their biggest defense is that they can jump and fly. So they jump away, open those legs up, and they glide. I know you want to see that happen, but there's really not a way to do that without being mean. I can't really go ahead and move that. I can't really throw them in the air and watch them glide. That just seems kind of mean to me. But you get the idea that that defense works well. Making that noise when they're disturbed usually would scare an animal away, and then they just run and jump, and if something does grab them, they turn and bite them, they're probably going to let go. Now, what's going to eat a cute little sugar glider? They actually have a few predators in Australia where they live. First and foremost, owls. That's right. The primary predator of a sugar glider is an owl. Yeah, we've gone from one cool, cute creature eating another cool creature, and that's just not right, is it? Well, they also get eaten by snakes, monitor lizards known as goannas. Hey, back in. No, inside the cage. There we go. Woohoo! Almost had a little escapee here. Yeah, that's funny. Kookaburras will eat them. Oh, and by the way, another one that's a big one is feral cats. Yes, people have cats. They let them loose in the neighborhood. They go out at night and they'll eat the sugar gliders. So that's one of the reasons I keep my sugar gliders indoors at all times. That's also why I don't have my cats running around the neighborhood. But, oh, look at that. She's just looking cute. You can see the folds of the skin right there behind her front leg. See that? And you kind of see him in the back too. And that little fold of skin right in there. Hey, it's me. We're good? He's like, yeah, I remember you. Yeah, there you go. You can see that skin. Boom, and then jump away. They can open that up and they can run. Now, these ones are actually full grown. They won't get much bigger than this. They're not even a year old yet, though. But these will live to be about 17 years old, the sugar gliders will, which is pretty impressive. And, you know, it's about the same as a dog or a cat, I guess. Excuse me, sorry. The sugar gliders, I think they're just cute. We can sit here all day and just watch these sugar gliders, though, couldn't we? Aren't they so cute? Let me see if I can get one into the wheel to run, though. And while we're doing that, hopefully I don't get attacked too badly. Once I get it into there, it usually runs pretty good. Yeah, getting it in there is going to be the fun part here. Yeah, it's amazing how they can just jump and jump all over. Ooh, calm down. There you go, bud. Yeah. By the way, of these two, the female, she's a little bit more, I say, aggressive than the male. The male is the one that I've worked with a lot more. And of course I say that and he'll be the one that like, hey, but see, he's just like checking things out going, oh yeah, I kind of remember you. And see, we're kind of little friends there. He's kind of maybe hoping I'll give him a berry. I've tried that, and even during the day, he doesn't really want to eat any berries. So let me see. Hey, come down, jump into the wheel. You want to spin the wheel? It's like Wheel of Fortune. There we go. All right. Now, this is the funnest thing when it runs in the wheel. Watch this. It'll run. Get away from me. You better run. Look. And this is how they get their exercise, since normally they run around and they live in about an acre. That's usually, you get 4 or 5 of them kind of living in a group that'll live in an area that's about the size of an acre. Look at that. Oh yeah, I'm just going to ride the wheel all the way around. That's me at the state fair right there. I'm on the ride going, hey, let's go upside down. Now, sometimes they'll get going, jump into the middle and just spin. It's really fun. And they're really, really fun creatures. In fact, their scientific name for the sugar glider, which I cannot pronounce, but it means, because you don't care once I tell you what it means, their scientific name means short-headed rope dancer. Yeah, because they like to have fun jumping around in the trees. Look at that. He's like, I just get it spinning and then grab on and go for the ride. Isn't that wild? Look at that. Yeah. Now, I've often wondered, short-headed rope dancer, what? Yeah, but then you see these guys playing like this and imagine them on little vines hanging down and stuff, and it looks like they're dancing on the ropes. Getting all kinds of exercise. Like, yep, okay. Well, that was fun. Yeah, all right. So you get, oh, no, I gotta get some speed going, and then grab it and ride it. All right. Well, as you can see, sugar gliders are a ton of fun. These guys just love to have the fun. Of course, the problem is they're nocturnal, so if you're out in the Australian rainforest, you'd have to go out at night to see all this action. Otherwise, you wake them up and they jump and run away, and, well, that's not really so much fun, I guess. All right. Well, I think that everybody has probably enjoyed the sugar gliders. I know you kept tuning in to Australian Week to see what kind of, when will we get, there we go, look, grab on the middle and spin. I tried that trick once. It doesn't work as well as the sugar glider makes it look, yeah. But Anyhow, I enjoyed having Aussie week here. If you enjoyed it, let me know. And of course, if you're, got some kind of particular animal or some particular part of the world, maybe you want to explore, check and see. Maybe we can do that. Having all Australian creatures this week, I think, was a load of fun. We've got stuff from all over the world, except Antarctica. Remember, still got to work on that. But in any case. Next week we're back. I know Memorial Day, a lot of people probably have plans, but we're going to still plan on doing a live at 11 o'clock Arizona time, trying to keep things regular for you, much like the same reason I eat fiber. But we're going to keep that going at 11 o'clock Monday and 11 o'clock on Wednesday, and every Friday at 11 o'clock we're going to have a broadcast, whether it's live or pre-recorded. It will be released then. So be sure to watch on YouTube and, of course, on Facebook Live. Keep all those platforms going and saved, and I hope you all enjoy it. So with that, thanks for tuning in today, and once again, shameless plug, we do have the virtual tip jar if you'd like to help support these crazy cool creatures. We'll put the information, of course, in the comments and all that. But if you Zelle, it's payment@wildmanphil.com. If you're a Venmo person, that is wildmanphil, all one word, but with a capital W and a capital P. And of course, if you like to PayPal, it's presentations@desertwildlife.net. So thanks again to Abiding Impressions for our online store. If you want to get some Wildman Phil swag, check out wildmanphil.shop. And I also want to thank Brave Wilderness and the crew there for their unwavering support, always being so helpful and promoting us, and Overwatch Designs for the wonderful logo design and stickers, and Casa Grande Sign Shop for our live show things, which should be swinging back in sometime soon. All right, I think we've had enough for the Sugar Glider. Thank you, guys. We'll see you Monday.